Good afternoon, everybody. Corey here with CDS Automotive. I just wanted to make a video today. I had an interesting vehicle last Friday into Monday, and it came from another shop, and I just wanted to bring you along kind of with the process, what I found, and touch on a few key points that continue to be a problem. So let's get into it. A customer, a local shop to us, contacted me and said, "Hey, I've got a vehicle. It's having misfire issues. Would you be interested in looking at it?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely. No problem at all." So I get over there. I get the backstory. This vehicle was recently sold from a used car lot, and they sold it to the customer. The customer drove it. It developed misfire issues. It happens. The customer brought it back to the shop, and they tried to resolve the issue to no avail. So they had put this is a V6 GDI injected engine. They put a high pressure fuel pump in it, a high pressure fuel rail with a sensor, 6 ignition coils and 6 spark plugs, and the issue was not gone. And even worse, as there was high side fuel pressure issues after the replacement of these parts that we don't believe were original to the customer's concern. So now we have induced problems on top of the original concern. So the shop that had contacted me was working on it, and basically they were behind the 8 ball. So they were trying to work back to square one. So they got the high side fuel pressure issues resolved. Those codes were gone. Fuel pressure was back in spec. Fuel system was happy. It was great. So now on to the original concern. They were extremely busy, and they wanted a direction, and they wanted it pinpointed. No problem. So I get the vehicle and I drive it, and the customer was stating that the between 3,000 RPMs and 3,500 RPMs, misfires would be sporadic. Cylinder 2 and 6 would be pretty constant, but misfires would come and go across the board. Okay, no problem. Drive it, verified it, put together a game plan, and I was able to get this issue diagnosed within the initial evaluation period. And I just wanted to bring you guys with to show you what I found and to hammer home the importance of quality parts and testing, of course. So what I found was this is a scope capture, a waveform of the camshaft position sensor. And to not go into too much detail, this is used for ignition timing, fuel injection timing, variable valve timing, cylinder displacement. It's a critical input, and this is definitely causing an issue with our misfires. So it's a 0 to 5 volt pull down. You can see we're near zero there. We're about 225 millivolts, and you can see up here we're roughly 5 volts. These long drops are great. The issue happens when we start getting these short drops. It doesn't pull all the way to ground. It pulls to about 2.6 volts. There was no disassembly required to gather this information. I think that's important because I didn't have to tear down, I didn't have to tear anything apart and, check engine mechanical timing or anything like that. And over here, you can see that, the original, our list of eBay parts, and the second shop didn't want to try and, they had found issues with the eBay parts, so they were getting the vehicle back up to snuff with OE parts, which is great, fantastic. Unfortunately, like I said, the misfires was the original concern. The fuel pressure issue on the high side was induced with the eBay parts, and then on top of that, some ignition coil connectors became damaged in the process. So my point is, guys, that if you're working on your own vehicle, just two things. It always pays to test. It saves you in the long run. I mean, the amount of money sitting here and the time vested is large. And if you are working on your own vehicle, which is fine, it's getting harder and harder to do, but it's tempting to go on eBay or Amazon and pick up these parts for pennies on the dollar as compared to the dealer or repair facility or maybe another local vendor. And the reason for that is the quality and, the warranty behind it and all the stuff that goes with that. Knockoff parts, knockoff parts don't seem to be going anywhere. Counterfeit parts, and they're wreaking havoc, and they can actually cause uh, more problems to be induced, and you can cause serious damage installing these parts based on how they fail, or even if they're not quote unquote failed, how they perform and function under normal or extreme loads. So I just wanted to bring you along with that. It always pays to test. uh, we don't ever want to induce more issues into the vehicle. We always want to, correct the root cause of the concern the first time. If you guys are local to me, you need assistance with troubleshooting electrical, I specialize in it. If you're a shop local to me, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help, and I don't want anybody to be without a vehicle. I don't want anybody to be super deep into a repair they can't back out of. We can all work together. We can set the standard. We can move forward and keep everybody moving. So you guys have a great night. And if you need anything, let me know. Thanks.